You know, there's something I've noticed about so many wonderful people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. They have this habit of apologizing for things they absolutely shouldn't. Maybe you've caught yourself doing it too. Saying sorry when you move a little slower, or when you need to sit down, or even when you simply want to put yourself first for a change. Well, today, I want to tell you something important. It's time to stop apologizing. After 70, you've earned the right to live unapologetically, to embrace your life exactly as it is, without feeling like you need to justify or excuse yourself. So, in this video, we're going to talk about 4 things you should never apologize for after 70. These are things that so many seniors feel guilty about. But the truth is, you deserve better. You've lived a full life. You've given so much to others. And now, it's your time to step into this chapter with confidence and pride. Let's start with the first one, apologizing for needing rest. How many times have you said, "I'm sorry, I just need to sit down for a minute," or "Forgive me, but I can't keep up like I used to"? Here's the thing. Your body has carried you through decades of work, raising families, overcoming challenges, and it's okay if it doesn't move at the same pace it once did. Needing rest isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. Your body is telling you what it needs, and listening to it is one of the most respectful things you can do for yourself. So next time you feel the urge to apologize for taking a break, remember, rest isn't something to be sorry for. It's something to honor. Now, the second thing you should stop apologizing for? Putting yourself first. So many of us were raised to believe that being selfless is the highest virtue. And of course, caring for others is beautiful. But somewhere along the way, we started thinking that taking time for ourselves was selfish. Maybe you've hesitated to say no to a social event because you didn't want to disappoint anyone. Or you've pushed yourself to do something because you didn't want to seem difficult. But here's the truth. Your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Wanting quiet time, saying no to things that drain you, or even spending a little extra on something that brings you joy. These aren't things you need to justify. This is your life, and you get to decide how you spend your energy. Now, I know this might feel a little uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent years putting others before yourself. But think of it this way. When you take care of your own happiness, you actually have more to give to the people you love. It's not selfish, it's sustainable. So the next time you're tempted to apologize for choosing yourself, take a deep breath and let that guilt go. You've earned this. And you know what? There's more to talk about, like why you shouldn't apologize for the changes in your body or for speaking your mind. But we'll get into those next. For now, I want you to think about these first 2 things, needing rest and putting yourself first. How often have you apologized for them? And more importantly, how would it feel to let that go? Because you deserve to move through this stage of life with the same kindness and respect you've given others all these years. So, let's keep this conversation going. In the next part, we'll talk about 2 more things you should never apologize for after 70. Because life is too short to spend it saying, "I'm sorry," for simply being yourself. You know, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is the wisdom that comes with it. The kind of wisdom that helps you see what truly matters in life. But sometimes, even with all that wisdom, we still find ourselves saying sorry for things that are just part of being human. We talked earlier about how you shouldn't apologize for needing rest or putting yourself first, and I hope that's already started to shift your perspective a little. Now, let's keep that momentum going with 2 more things you should never apologize for after 70. First up, apologizing for the changes in your body. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, sorry about these wrinkles, or forgive me if I'm a little slower these days. Maybe you've even felt embarrassed by a cane, hearing aids, or needing a little extra time to get around. Here's what I want you to remember. Your body is a testament to your life. Every line, every ache, every scar tells a story of laughter, of hard work, of love, of resilience. These changes aren't flaws. They're proof that you've lived. Think about it. Would you look at a well-loved book and apologize for the dog-eared pages? Of course not. Those creases and worn edges are signs that it's been read, cherished, and enjoyed. Your body is the same way. So the next time you're tempted to apologize for how you look or move, pause for a second. Instead of saying sorry, try saying, "This is me, and I've earned every bit of it." Because you have. Now, the second thing to stop apologizing for: speaking your mind. After decades of experience, you've earned the right to say what you think, kindly of course, but without watering it down, just to make others comfortable. Maybe you've bitten your tongue to keep the peace, or you've softened your opinions because you didn't want to seem difficult. But here's the thing. Your voice matters. Your perspective is valuable. And while there's always room for kindness and tact, you don't owe anyone silence just because you're older. In fact, the world needs your honesty now more than ever. Younger generations can learn so much from your experiences, the mistakes you've seen, the lessons you've learned, the values you hold dear. So if you have something to say it. If you disagree, it's okay to speak up. You don't have to be loud or forceful if that's not your style, but you also don't have to apologize for having an opinion. Your thoughts are just as important as anyone else's. Now, I know this can feel tricky, especially if you've spent a lifetime being the peacemaker or the one who puts others first. But there's a difference between being considerate and shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You don't have to be rude, but you also don't have to apologize for being you. So let's recap these two. Your changing body and your honest voice. Neither is something to feel guilty about. In fact, they're both worth celebrating. And you know what? There's still more to explore. In the next part, we'll wrap this up with the final things you should never apologize for after 70, along with some thoughts on how to truly step into this chapter of your life with confidence. Because you've come too far to spend another minute saying sorry for simply being who you are. You know, as we wrap up this conversation, I want you to take a moment and really let all of this sink in. Because what we're talking about here isn't just about stopping a few unnecessary apologies. It's about reclaiming your sense of worth. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and recognizing that every year you've lived, every challenge you've overcome, has earned you the right to stand tall in your truth. No excuses, no apologies. Now, let's talk about the third thing you should never apologize for after 70. Enjoying your life exactly as you want to. How many times have you downplayed your happiness because someone else might not understand it? Maybe you've caught yourself saying things like, "I know it's silly, but I love my afternoon soap operas." Or, "Don't mind me, I'm just indulging in some ice cream." Here's the truth. What brings you joy is never silly. Whether it's gardening, napping in the middle of the day, wearing bright colors, or eating dessert first, your happiness is yours to design. There's this unspoken idea that as we age, we're supposed to become quieter, smaller, less vibrant versions of ourselves. But who made that rule? If something lights you up, embrace it fully. Life is too short to apologize for pleasure, for fun, for the little things that make your days brighter. So the next time you feel that urge to justify your joy, don't. Instead, lean into it. Because happiness at any age isn't just a gift, it's a rebellion. And finally, the fourth thing to stop apologizing for: your past. So many people carry this weight of "I should have done this differently," or "I regret that mistake." But here's what I want you to hear. Your past isn't something to atone for. It's what brought you here. Every choice, every detour, every so-called misstep taught you something, shaped you, prepared you for the wisdom you hold today. You wouldn't be who you are without all of it. Maybe there are things you wish had gone differently. That's human. But you don't owe anyone an apology for being imperfect, for learning as you went, for living a real, messy, authentic life. The people who matter will understand that. And those who don't? Well, that's their work to do, not yours. So let's bring this all together. After 70, you deserve to move through the world without apology, for needing rest, for putting yourself first, for the changes in your body, for speaking your mind, for enjoying life your way, and for every experience that shaped you. These aren't flaws. They're proof of a life fully lived. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these resonated the most? Have you been apologizing for something you're ready to let go of? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video reminded you of your worth, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs this message too, and subscribe for more conversations like this. Because you're not done growing, learning, and embracing all the good that's still ahead. Here's to living these years exactly as you choose, unapologetically, joyfully, and free. Thanks for watching, and remember, you've earned this, every bit of it.